what I want to do today is to take a simple object, which would be a stuff of the Python, and try to transform it in something which is unique, so that it does not become yet another magic object which you throw at your players. How I'm going to do this is very simple. I'm going to take the rules. My general idea is that a magic object or a magic work should be unique as an object of art is unique. So, as we talk about artwork, we are going to talk about magic work. Unfortunately, there are actually some rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide to add this kind of distinguishedness for the various magical objects. And in particular, I'm going to use the rules which are in chapter 7, exactly where there are the tables for the magical objects. And those will be all the things which I'm going to use right now. Now, if you check those tables, you will see that there are 4 different tables, and you can use those 4 different tables to generate various aspects. And this is exactly what we are going to do. First of all, let's remember what is a staff of the Python. A staff of the Python is an uncommon magic object, is a staff which can be transformed into a Python, actually a giant constrictor snake, if I remember correctly. And this giant constrictor snake can then attack by itself. Of course, the owner can use a magic word to make the constrictor snake return to the Python form. And if the constrictor snake drops to 0, the constrictor snake returns to a staff and then is completely destroyed. So this is the general idea which we are having. Now, to me, this seems more like a sort of a constrictor snake or a constrictor snake spirit, which is encased in this Python, in this staff, rather than a staff which is able to transform into a constrictor snake itself. But we can see the other things with not much of a problem. What is that? So let's take a look at this table. What these tables allows us to do. The first thing which we can do with these tables is to generate what is the actual who actually created this particular stuff. So I'm going to use D&D Beyond in order to roll a few dice. Still using D&D Beyond because yes. And so let me just open one. Yep, this should be okay. Nope, not this one. Oh yeah, because I just need to do another different. Let me get one of my characters, and then I can. Okay, so first thing first. The first thing to do is to roll a d20 in order to understand who created or was intended to use. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. And I rolled a 17, and consulting the 17, this means that this stuff was intended to be used by a fiend. And if we look at the description, it says that it is made of black iron or horn inscribed with runes, and any cloth or leather components are crafted from the hide of fiends. It is worn to touch and features leering faces or vile runes engraved on its surface. Celestials find the item's presence repulsive. So I'm going to copy and paste this on a tab, just to keep notice of this. Okay, let's move to the other role. Now we want to detail an item from its history, and this time it's going to be a D8. Let's see. Let's try to run a D8 for this one. And we roll a 2. And 2 means that the item is Bane. The item was created by the foes of a particular culture or kind of a creature. If the culture or creatures are still around, they might recognize the item and single out the bearer as an enemy, which is interesting because of course we established in the first part that the item was created or was intended to be used by fiends, so this seems interesting. Now let's roll a minor property. It is again a d20, so let's roll another d20 now. And it is a 6. So 6 on the d20 says that the item is a guardian. The item whispers warning to its bearer, granting a +2 bonus to initiative if the bearer isn't incapacitated. Interesting. Okay, so again, I'm taking notes of all this stuff. And the last one is a quirk, which is a d12. So let's roll a d12. And is a 4. 4, it says that it is frail, which is quite interesting. The item scrambles, frays, chips or cracks slightly when wielded, worn or activated. This quirk has no effect on its properties, but if the item has seen much use, it looks decrepit. Okay, so we are dealing with stuff of the Python, and we were saying that this was intended to be used by fiends, so either demons or devils. I tend to see this more as something which could be more useful for a devil, just because I figure a devil would be just because I'm thinking that this could be more something which is which should be in the hand of a thoughtful creature, a more thoughtful creature, and I tend to imagine demons as extremely ruthless and chaotic creatures, like they actually are. Of course, so since this is stuff, well, it could very well be done of black iron. It could be, let's say that it is done for the want black iron with inserts of horn, and it has inscribed in infernal runes the name of the giant snake, which can be evoked from it. So my idea is that the name of the snake is going to have to be a creature and have a name, and it is the name of the creature could be inscribed on the stuff itself, or there could be something like speak the name of the Lord of the Nine Hells to call forward the help of. Okay, now I'm going to generate the name of this giant snake, which is going to be, of course, a devil. And in order to do so, I will use the fantasy name generator, which is extremely useful for this kind of thing. So let's say that we call it Bagrath. So speak the name of the Lord. So in infernal runes, there now I'm imagining that there is this spiral of infernal runes all around these the shaft of these the staff, and it is written, speak the name of the Lord of the Nine Hells to call forward the help of Bagrath. And if someone does so with an action, this becomes Bagrath itself, which is a giant constrictor snake, but instead of which is going to be in the same shape of the stuff itself. So it's going to, it will have black and dark red scales. It's going to probably it's going to have runes which are on his skin, possibly, or maybe not. Anyway, in any case, this is going to be the kind of creature. Now, of course, this has been created by the foes of a particular culture or kind of creature. So it's for sure it has been created by the foes of demons, because devils and demons are enemies. But Celestials as well are enemies. So any creature who has something against devils could recognize these and could single out. So demons are going to single out the bearer of this stuff if confronted in combat with them. I would also say that the bearer of this one could get bad reactions from good aligned creatures, good aligned priests, from priests of good aligned deities, and possibly disadvantage on charisma checks from paladins of those deities. Here the idea is that of course the paladins are going to be in general good good aligned deities are going to be enemies of these devils, and specifically those deities and paladins, which tend to be the more fanatic part of the religion, are going to be extremely upset when seeing this kind of stuff. Now, why we roll the property which says that this is a guardian? So we can say that Bagrat, the spirit, the devil spirit inside the stuff, is going to whisper to the bearer of the staff, and thanks to its unnatural awareness, it will grant a +2 bonus on initiative. Okay, so my idea is that since we said that this is a sort of a demon which has been encased or is been constructed or whatever it is that we want to figure in the shape of this stuff, the devil itself is going to whisper into the ear of the bearer of this stuff, and in this way it's going to grant this bonus. Now, it says that the item is frail. Okay, we could say that this was originally intended to this was originally intended to be used by a devil, and it was just intended to be in the 9 hell. And once it was transported into the material plane, this is what happened to the object itself. This could be a generic idea, or we could simply say that I don't know. Let's see what we can actually invent for this specific part. Double check something. Okay, no problem. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can what we can why as I said in the beginning, I'm creating this stuff together with you, so I have really no idea where I want to go with all these things. So one thing which about which I reflected before was that these is who actually created this object. the idea is that this is a magic work. Okay, so and even if this is just an uncommon magic item, an uncommon magic item still has a value which is between 100 and 500 gold pieces. Now, to have my, usually I translate this as one gold piece as $100 or 100 euros, or more or less you can have a similar equivalence. So this means that this could be something in the range between 10,000, an object which is going to cost 10,000, between 10,000 and 50,000 euros. Who is going to commission it? And again, now I'm moving into another part just to see if I can get some ideas on this other part. So usually I have the idea of I have a number of possible creatures which I could use. It could be an academy. It could be an ancient being, an aristocrat, a criminal syndicate, a guild, a military force, a religious order, a sovereign, or a sovereign. Okay, so let's say that since this was an object meant to be, either it was crafted by a devil, or it was meant to be used by a devil, I would say that this could have been some sort of pact which was stuck between maybe an academy or an aristocrat and a devil. This could have been a gift to a devil in order to gain something from the devil itself. But this makes little sense because we all know that all the devil cares about are actually souls. So, of course, this would not make very much of a sense. So, what is that? It could be. It could also be that this was crafted by some of the devil forgers themselves, and eventually it was recovered once the original bearer was killed. Yeah, and of course, who could be more, I would say, more appropriate to be the killer of a devil than a paladin itself, or a good cleric, a good paladin or a good cleric. They could both be very good. Well, let's say okay. Let's say that this was a weapon which was in the hands of a devil. Yeah. The problem I have with this is that it seems quite strange as something in the hands of a devil, because, for example, if I have to think about a powerful devil, it will not use this kind of object. It will want to use something like a sword or another thing. So, but this could be something which a devil could craft and grant to one of a devil could grant to a warlock, for example. So let's say that we have a powerful devil, which is actually the let's say that, okay, we could say that this stuff was granted by Murnath, but a fiend patron to one of his warlocks. Okay, this stuff we can imagine that this stuff was as I was saying, it was created by the archdevil Murnath, a fiend patron to one of its warlock. And Bagrat could have been one of his devils, which was in a way it was created in this way. We could say that if we want to go to this way, we can even say that the giant constrictor snake is not a beast, but it's going to be instead a fiend, which would perfectly be fine. So Bagrat, it would be a fiend. Now all good creatures are going to recognize this for what it is, and so are going to have this problem. And why it is frail? Because let's see how we can reconcile the fact that it is frail. Each time the object activates and or hits a creature, another crack appears on the surface of the stuff. It's unclear what is going to happen when the stuff is eventually going to crack open. Okay, so we let's say that we are in the end. So my idea is that this stuff was granted by the archdevil Murnath, a fiend patron, to one of its warlock or of his warlocks. It is done by black iron with the inserts of horn, and it has inscribed in infernal rules the name of the giant snake which can be evoked from it. And actually, it has inscribed the following: speak the name of the Lord of the Nine Hells to call forward the help of Bagrat. Demons are going to single out the bearer of the staff if confronted in combat with them. The bearer of this one could get bad reactions from priests of good deities and possible disadvantage on charisma check from paladins of those deities. Bagrat, the devil spirit inside the staff, is going to whisper to the bearer of the staff, and tend to its unnatural awareness. It will grant a +2 bonus on initiative. Each time the object activates or hits a creature, another crack appears on the surface of the staff. It's unclear what is going to happen when the staff is eventually going to crack open. I would say that roll a d20 each time the staff is activated or use it to attack or it's a creature. On a roll of 1, a new crack is going to appear on the staff. Okay. Okay, this is I would say that this is finished. This seems quite an interesting stuff, and now we can present this to our players. It's not going to be exactly just another stuff of the Python. It's devilish nature of this object is going to make it distinguished from others. So I would say this is quite nice. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these into Google Documents, and I will put a link in the description for this one. In the meantime, if you are going to watch these, thanks and have a good night. Bye.